Today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm a man on a mission, unlike Gabrielle Chilmy, who used to be a woman on a mission. Now, before you think Miss Chilmy still looks that way, think again. Oh my God. I'm a woman on a mission. Of course, folks, you know I am a man on a mission myself. Why do you say that, Kung Fu? Because there's some exciting news, potentially, about the next Resident Evil film that's been directed by, wait for it, Zach Cregger.
Who?
You know who he is. He directed Barbarian, which I'm probably going to be ordering from Amazon very, very soon. That was his debut horror movie, which scored all sorts of critical plaudits all over the place. And then on Friday, I went to watch Weapons, starring Josh Brolin and Julia Garner, of all people, which is an absolutely rollicking great time. And I guess it kind of makes sense that he's the perfect choice to bring back from the dead the Resident Evil film series, because for me, the first three rare entries of that movie series were the best. And let's face it, we were getting sick and tired of Milla Jovovich, who by this stage is an old bag, just like Scarlett Johansson. She became a walking and running meme in that series. I mean, it was funny for a while, but honestly, folks, we want some fresh blood in this series.
Is that the best you've got?
And who better than to do it is Zach Cregger, or Gregor, or Yuri Gagarin. I have no idea. But if you end up enjoying this video today, folks, you know what to do already. Like, subscribe, and then maybe like again some more, because, hey, I would like that very, very much.
Video show. And now, the man the BBC calls...
Jason King on Kung Fu Hot Dog.
Hello, Resident Evil. Fresh blood.
So you will notice from this Deadline article, folks, that Zach Cregger explains his Resident Evil is a different story, but a love letter to the games. And I will point out here, folks, there is a curious rhetoric that permeates this article from Deadline, so you know it's official when they're reporting it. So let's go back to the article and then see what you can spot as the common theme throughout this shit hit piece. As Zach Craig David prepares to bring Resident Evil to the big screen once again, he's venturing outside the canon for a new story. The director, who is rebooting the franchise for Sony, recently explained that although he's not breaking the rules of the game, the movie depicts a story outside of the characters of the games. I am the biggest worshipper of the games, so I'm telling a story that is a love letter to the games and follows the rules of the games. He's mentioning games quite frequently, isn't he?
Officer Deja, Agent Vu, haven't we met somewhere before?
It is obedient to the law of the games. It's just a different story, added Cregger. I'm not going to tell Leon S. Kennedy's story because that's been told in the games. Fans already have that. And that is quite a funny statement from Mr. Cregger, because as he has stated, if you want to learn about Leon Kennedy's story, just go and play the damn video games again, which makes so much more sense. Now, when I look at that paragraph and read it again and again until I'm going mad in the head because the law and the games keep coming up all over the damn place, and I keep doing this at the moment, which reminds me of Jill Valentine's titties, if you know what I mean. Look, he's got a point, because this sounds like an Elseworlds movie. If you're going to restart the franchise, this is what you do. It's boots on the ground, no heroics. No, well, there is going to be heroics, but it's not going to be of the over-the-top type where you're running in slow motion like Milla Jovovich and jumping off a cliff and nothing's going to hurt you. None of that nonsense. Now, the synopsis for the Resident Evil film is as follows. A hapless courier, played by Austin Abrams, is tasked with delivering a package to a remote hospital, which we will assume is Raccoon City. He soon finds himself caught in the middle of an outbreak and must fight through a horde of mutated creatures to survive. Now, we'll say, if you have seen Weapons, obviously the kids doing the little T-pose running throughout the film, well, not throughout, but in certain instances, and people suddenly getting, shall we say, virused, you can kind of see where he might take the new direction of the Resident Evil film. And look, we have been butthurt by the Netflix films, haven't we? They've been absolutely effing terrible beyond belief. So we're going to forget they ever happened. And I guess so does Mr. Kreger, because he wants to do his own thing. Todd Phillips, when he made the Joker in 2019, did the same approach also. Like, hey, we're going to take this character, but we're going to make him more realistic, but still retain the nuances of what made that character so fascinating in the DC comic book universe. So I like all of that stuff, and I'm kind of curious to see how he's going to bring this Resident Evil to life. More importantly, is he pissing off the fans, or will people genuinely get excited? Now, the new character he's bringing on will be a female. Could be a version of Claire Redfield. It might not be Jill Valentine, because I'll have to see them big 38 double Ds bouncing up in my face in a film like that, especially if it comes with 3D glasses. Do you know what I mean? That'd be absolutely epic. This potentially could be good, but if you look at the comment section on the post from Deadline, people aren't really getting too worked up about it. I understand. Girl boss fatigue. Oh, we've heard this a million times already. I understand it. I know where they're coming from. I too feel disappointed. I mean, I was hoping for a Chris Redfield live action story, but the nearest and dearest thing we're gonna get is Resident Evil Vendetta, the third CGI movie in that series of films. Although Death Island is probably my favorite at the moment, because we do get the introduction of Jill Valentine. For me, Ultimate Jill. She looks incredible. She's actually even better than the Jill Valentine we got in the Resident Evil remake from a few years ago. She looks spectacular in that CGI movie, and if you haven't seen it, then do yourself a favor and go and buy a Blu-ray copy and watch it yourself. But this seems like it could be good news. Again, the cinematography used in Weapons is absolutely, it's jaw-dropping. I think what Zack might do is to make this film look like it's in the 1980s. This guy was born in 1981, so he was raised on that diet of teen slasher fix. Freddy Krueger coming to get you with his big long claws, right? So he might take an essence of that DNA and put it in this film. He could do a 90s aesthetic, because the game started out in 1996, so he may go with that approach. It's going to be very interesting and exciting what he might do. Of course, it all depends who the lead actress is going to be. Is he going to reuse the actress from Barbarian? I say get someone really hot. We do that, you know, someone who just exudes absolute sexiness on the big screen. We don't want Bella Ramsey. We don't want other people that might be considered sexy on a in the right shade of light. We want somebody who just absolutely melts the screen into a million pieces and will just be a box office draw. But Resident Evil as a live action movie all over again, it could be a hard sell, right? Because people are burnt out already. Just like the MCU and DC, we are getting burnt out by offerings that when we get them on the plate eventually, it's just a big fat turd and not the Big Mac and fries we ordered 30 minutes ago. And on that one, ladies and gentlemen, if you ended up enjoying this video today, you should consider watching either this video or that video, and I will catch you catching me for the return of